We've covered so much now. It's not just like dancers or like parents that are dancers. It's dancers that are parents. We're just covering parenting at this point.
Well, one thing, just a side note, I am grateful for this company because it allowed both of us to like do something still, or like even though we're not like 100% active, like the way you have it set up allows us to choose like if we can be or not, and it doesn't make us feel guilty, whereas we're used to in the dance community, like you have to be with this team, you have to go to everything, you have to do all the performances, and like, you know, we would feel guilty like if we needed to like leave practice early because, you know, we have a baby, or like we had to do the performance because something came up like with our kid, where this like allows us to take turns and not feel guilty. So that's what I appreciate about Temper Tantrum.
Oh yeah, I guess it's for all parents. Were there any barriers that you had, like being a dancer or wanting to be a dancer as a parent, like clear barriers? I feel like you've had some like encounters like with people who are like, oh, well, you're pregnant.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Yeah. Like the one thing I did not like when I was pregnant is like the non-parents, or they're like they don't understand that like hi goodbye bye bye
Oh, show us some
she's like she knows the concept of time.
Yeah.
Okay, Nova.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Bye bye.
Here,
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, Nova. I love you. Yeah. Thank you, Nora.
Nora, you can set a timer on for 10 minutes. You can hold us accountable.
Yeah. Okay.
She gonna do it too.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do.
Okay, Nova,
we do.
No more.
That's a norm. If I give her a time frame, I allow her to set a timer on me. And that's it.
Yeah,
And I regret it every time, but I hold to it.
Same here with
it.
Jordan. Like, Jordan, I just need 10 minutes of quiet for work. He sets a timer.
Yup. I love it. I love it.
Because he knows, like, he just knows it was like I don't like talking when I'm working. Mm-hmm. And then or when I'm in a meeting, he's like, Dad, are you in a meeting? In the middle of my Zoom meeting. And I'm like, okay. And just play video games. And it took a while, like, for him to learn how to be quiet, like, while I was, you know, because he's playing video games, and he gets excited. And but then he gets, you know, this kids. It's okay to be accountable to our kids. You're saying?
Sorry. A quick time story. So, because Nova doesn't know the concept of time yet, and then we were taking a bath, but she didn't want to get out of the bath. I was like, okay, you can be in the bath for either like 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then like you pick. And then she's like, okay, 2 minutes, and then I'd be counting. I'd be like, okay, I'll count up to 2 minutes, and then be like, okay, 1. She's like, okay. I'll be like 1, 2. She's like, okay, let's go. She's like,
oh my god! When she finds out,
You cheated me.
like, okay, this is where my trust issues.
Brings it up to a therapist.
She counted 2 seconds instead of 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so like I learned this the hard way because now I look back at like how I used to treat like my friends that were pregnant. Like where I'd like be overly careful or like, but it came with good intention, which I tried to understand it, but this person or these people, they kind of use it in a way where it's kind of manipulative. Because when you're pregnant, you know, you're tired, you get different hormones. Everybody's pregnancy is different, but these people only know what's like by the book.
Yeah,
and so like. I had to like lay down, and then I know they were mad at the fact that I had to lay down. That I wasn't productive like during rehearsal. It was more, but they used it against me saying, no, like we're mad that you didn't tell us that you were tired. I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna be tired, and then it just came, and then people would be like, oh, she could have learned just by watching. I'm like, do you think I'm gonna comprehend that
Yeah.
when I have like
And pregnancy brain's a thing,
Yeah.
so it doesn't
Yeah.
even matter.
And
Like, it's
then-
not.
So I kind of regret staying where I should have just completely dropped out because
Yeah, unfortunately.
like even though I'm able to like do like I was still able to do like 1 or 2 pieces before my psoriasis completely took over my body, but I regret it. Like I wish I either just like dropped out to save my mental health during pregnancy, because like 100% they were not gonna understand, and like if these people watch and they know who I'm talking about, like I know they're still not gonna understand it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
and that's the hard part in being involved. You want to surround yourself by people who do understand. Like, I think luckily for our company, we've got multiple parents, so we just get it. There's a lot that goes unsaid that we understand, but you got to be very careful to mind yourself. So, yeah, if I had to ever be in a situation like that, I probably would hope to not put myself in that situation. But
It's rough because then there's an empathy that they try to attempt, but it's just like it's just like no. I don't know. Go ahead.
you just reminded me, and I think I blocked this out. I think this is so traumatic that I forgot this happened. But in my pregnancy, I kept teaching dance through my pregnancy, and I was so excited that I conceived because it was a difficult, but it was high risk, and I had this condition where, you know, if I even sneezed, there would be a problem, and I'd have to go to the ER. So, yeah, so I was still teaching dance, and I'll never forget, I guess I did some dance move or something, and the situation, I could feel something was wrong, and I had to cut my classes for the rest of the day. And that was the first incident that happened, and I had to go to the hospital and get seeked out, and it just kept happening where, you know, I'd be like, I probably shouldn't do this class today, and it wasn't good for the parents. You know, they were paying money, they couldn't keep having their classes canceled, and I just really thought I could do it. I thought I was capable, and I didn't know that my body would deceive me in such a way. You know, I was like, I could not wait to be that pregnant teacher, and my students my students watched me get engaged. They watched me, you know, they found out I was pregnant. They watched my belly grow. Like, my students were so excited to see me, and I just wanted everybody to be involved in this beautiful process with me, you know. And so that was really hard, and I kept trying to teach longer than I should have, so that was my boundary. Like, I should have just bowed out. And other parents, too, they would try to be understanding. They're like, it's okay, like, we get it, don't even worry about it, like, you're tired, take a break, get some water, you know. But at the end of the day, no, the kids still just needed someone who could just give them what, you know, they were there for. So I did cut out eventually, but I tried to keep teaching longer, way longer than I should have, for my own physical safety, and then also for what the students' parents are paying for, you know. So that was a big surprise. Yeah.
It's just hard when people are like they say they understand, but then like you hear comments in the back.
Maybe like a complaint later, like and the classes are over, and the next day my boss gives me a call, like, you know, I'm just like, darn. No, you fellas didn't carry the babies, you were still expecting. So, what, you know, do you guys go through any similar setbacks or boundary, barriers? Like, did you encounter any during,
Like things
that you wouldn't have
things
expected?
that dancers would put on you for being like a dad.
They're like, we got it easy.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's definitely part of the male privilege thing, because like, we didn't have, our bodies didn't have to go through that.
You bring Jordan to classes or anything?
I didn't bring Jordan to classes. I did bring him to rehearsals, and the person, my director, was just understanding. He was 2.
Yeah. I guess, I mean,
so,
we've gotten over here, we're understanding. Kind of dealing with now.
Yeah, I don't feel like I had any barriers that held me back. Yeah, I don't think so.
Or maybe I have a question. So, like, how did you feel like seeing like your ladies pregnant, but yet they couldn't like do certain things? Did you, in the back of your mind, did you ever feel like, oh man, like I wish like they weren't pregnant, like so they can do certain things, or like
Do you regret making
Dang.
No,
or, like did you like were you the people telling me, oh we understand, but then later on it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
oh yeah that sucks.
I
Like,
mean, for me, it was like one. I just wanted to make sure that it was comfortable for her, because I'm in my head like you don't get to say shit right now. It's her body and whatnot. There's shit happening that there's stuff happening that you just are not gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to try to be supportive. You know, the only thing that I wanted was like, oh, I just want to have sex.
Oh man. Like, back up. Back up. Yeah.
Wow.
But
is that your answer?
No.
He's like, I plead the fifth. He's like, this is a setup.
I
It's
didn't
a
know we were
trap.
going into that direction.
no, that's straight. Like that's me though. Like I was my partner. I'm like still found them beautiful. I'm going to help and that, but I still that doesn't make just because they're pregnant doesn't make me not want to do them.
Yeah, I'll speak on behalf of Nora's dad. Definitely, there was less under, but everyone's different. I know there are some expecting dads who will do the research. They'll read the books and they'll be more involved, and they'll be like letting the informed the mother to know what to expect next. They'll be the ones doing all that. So Nora's dad was not like that. I will never forget a time where I was saying that I needed to rest. I couldn't clean or I couldn't do the dishes or something because of my nausea. My nausea. And he was like, but it's not the morning. It's morning sickness. And I was like, I was ready to.
There was many times where Steph, there was like the cramps that happened, random cramps, like for
Braxton
Steph.
Hicks.
So she would have
Is that her summer?
Steph would have random cramps at like 3 a.m. and I would help stretch out, or I would go on random runs to get tomato soup.
Something I did also, I'll just put out there, I parented extremely different than a lot of people do. I just did my own thing. So when she was really little, I took her out of a crib very early, earlier than anybody would statistically be comfortable with. And I took wood, I built it myself, and I custom made like a toddler bed for her.
Oh,
and
wow.
I baby-proofed her entire room. There was not one choking hazard, anything. So she would have, before she could even walk, she would have the freedom to wake up, roll out of her bed, and roam her room and just get into
That's
what she
cool,
wanted
yeah.
to. Yeah,
That's having your
and
own freedom,
that
yeah.
gave her, a big sense of, independence. And I kept her room door shut, but I'd watch her on the camera, and she would just spend hours, like, playing, and I just hear her get into stuff. And then eating, we did lead weaning, which I think is more common now, but back then people were like, they're gonna die, No, it was fine. So lead weaning is when you let them eat solids, like you skip the pureed food, just directly to solids. And that's what we did. She, she never choked. She's never had a choking incident, not one time. And she learned to eat early. And I would then, when she got old enough where I could trust she's not going to choke, I would set up her options in the fridge. It's like, am I a lazy parent? Or like,
I think this is fascinating. We're learning how to be like self-reliant.
Yeah, I'd set up snacks that she was allowed to prepare herself. I'm like, you can either have a yogurt, you can have so she knew she'd open the fridge up and there were what she could make herself. And she would do it. And yes, I benefited because I get to sleep in longer in the morning, but I would also watch. I'd monitor, I'd hear, I'd listen. But she learned to do a lot. And I would still get up and make her stuff because there's still stuff she would want that she couldn't make,
Yeah, like
pancakes and all that kind of stuff. But she learned a lot when she was very young.
kids making mistakes. It just, if anything, just teaches them risk assessment.
Mm-hmm.